StrayAllDay.com.
You're now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. Dre, what is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is baby steps are too small and too slow. Before we get into this, let me remind everybody, I send out a text message every single day that is guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point to start your day. I even gave it a name, call it the Daily Motivation Text Message. You want to get this message, so all you got to do to receive it, starting tomorrow morning, is text me at my number, 305-384-6894. And every day when that daily motivation text goes out, because you're a member of my text community, you'll be receiving this message that is guaranteed to have you focused, sharp, and on point to start your day, like I just told you. Text me right now, and tomorrow when that daily motivation goes out, because you're a member of my texting community, and only for that reason, you'll be receiving this message straight to your phone. Secondly, people ask me, Dre, do you offer any kind of coaching? Do you have anything like courses or high-level trainings or anything like that that I can use to kind of go to the next level in addition to what I'm getting in all the game you give out here on the show? The answer is yes, I do. The caveat to the answer is that there's only one place to get it, and that place is Work on Your Game University. That's where I do all my coaching, all my trainings, all my courses. Everything is there. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. You can see your options for getting engaged with us. That is the only place it happens. Again, workonyourgameuniversity.com. The link is down below in the description to this episode, wherever you happen to be consuming this. That said, let's get into this topic. Now, this is a continuation of what we've been talking about a lot over the last couple of days. A couple of days ago, we talked about how there are only two speeds. And then yesterday, we talked about the discomfort of leveling up. And you see that there's a theme here, that we're talking about pace, and we're talking about making things happen, and we're talking about getting yourself moving. A couple of days before all three of those, we talked about the congruence between your mindsets, your habits, and your goals. We talked how everything is rented, how things are supposed to be hard, the importance of structure, the power of process, how everything is your fault, productivity versus effectiveness versus efficiency. You see, we're talking about a lot of the same things here because one of the biggest themes that I've really been focused on over the last couple of weeks here on the show is about moving you to action, and moving to action with a sense of urgency, a sense of purpose, and a sense of speed. You need all of these. And today is about how baby steps, meaning the small steps that you are comfortable with, doing things a little bit at a time, eating like a mouse, that is too small and too slow. We've been talking about this concept for a few different angles, as I just told you. Today, we're going to take it on directly, because that's what we do here at Work on Your Game, in case you didn't know. Point number one. Topic, once again, is baby steps are too small and too slow. What exactly is a baby step? Any of you who has a baby or a small child, or any of you has a child, period, you remember the period when that child first learned to walk? Even though it was cool to watch them walk and it was cute and all of that, you couldn't plan your whole trip around your baby walking the whole way. Why? Because first of all, babies get tired very easily when they're walking. Eventually, they're going to get tired of walking, and they're going to either start crawling, or they're just going to sit there and cry, or they're going to come running to mommy and daddy and demand to be picked up or put in the stroller. Because first of all, baby steps don't have much endurance. And secondly, baby steps are too damn small. Babies have very small legs. They can't cover a lot of ground with each step. A baby step is when you slowly and gradually work your way towards making a change, advancing, installing new programs and systems in any aspect of your life, career, or business. That's what a baby step is, when you slowly and gradually make your change. Hopefully, you make your change slowly and gradual. So you're being slow and gradual, and you're hoping that this leads to the desired outcome. It's not guaranteed when you're taking baby steps, because again, try to go, any of you has a child. I have a son who's a little over a year old, and I decided to go out with my son and not take a stroller, and we're going to walk 1 mile. I don't think my son would make it 1 mile. Because first of all, he gets distracted, so he goes over this direction, that direction. And if you try to get him to walk in a straight line, he might get annoyed, and then he might quit walking and just fall on the ground because he doesn't want to go the direction I'm trying to take him. That's one thing that will happen. Second thing is, you got to crouch over and hold the child's hand to make sure they go the direction that you want them to go, so your back might start hurting. Third thing is, eventually, before you get to a mile of walking, that child's going to get tired and demand that you pick them up, because they don't want to go that way. Or they're going to stop somewhere along the way because they want to pick something up off the ground. They get distracted by something. You're probably not going to make it a mile very efficiently walking with a baby, simply because there are many other what's the word I'm looking for? Complications that come with following baby steps. And this is the same thing that's happening with many of you right now. Your slow and gradual progress of baby steps has many complications that come with it. It sounds good on paper. Let me just go slow and steady and I'll get to my outcome. And if it takes me longer, that's completely fine. The problem is you ain't getting there at all. And you're slow. So you actually got more than one problem. See, this is the person who takes 6 weeks to design a website. And yes, I'm talking about you. 3 months to create a course. Yes, I'm talking about you. A year to actually put something out and ask their audience to pay for it. Yes, I'm talking about you. This is the person who takes 4 months to launch a podcast. Yes, that's you I'm talking about. Person who decides to write a book and it's 2 years before the book is finished. Yeah, that's you too. And these are all results of baby steps. If I described you right there, you are taking baby steps. Baby steps are too slow, they take too long, and by the time you get to where you decided to get to, if you get there at all the opportunity has been taken off the table. And there you are rationalizing why your baby steps were a smart thing to do. No, they were a stupid thing to do. Baby steps is also known as moving too damn slow. All right, if you want a different way of saying this, all right, there it is. All right, so any of you want a different way of talking about it? I talked about this in episode 2546. Doing things at your own pace is too damn slow. Episode 2182, the problem, you are moving too slow. All right, so you notice I've talked about this many times. Episode 1469, late bloomers versus slow learners. There's a difference between the two. Episode 601, be a quick study. Slow learners get left for dead. If you are a slow learner in life, they leave you behind. All right, the only place in life where a slow learner is rewarded is in school. Your formal schooling, I would say usually up through 12th grade. So K through 12, if you're a slow learner, you know what they do? You tell the teacher that you didn't understand the concept. The teacher stops the entire class and makes sure that you catch up. You and all the other laggards catch up. And the class does not move forward until the slowest person is caught up. That's how it works in school. Everywhere else in life, in the quote unquote real world, if you're slow, they just leave you there. The class does not slow down for you to catch up. They just leave you there and they just let you be the laggard. They let you be slow. And before you know it, everybody else is 10 years ahead of you, even though you're all the same age. And there you are, still slow, still not understanding, still trying to figure it out. And nobody's coming to help you. Ain't no tutors in the real world. Ain't no study hall in the real world. Ain't no social promotion in the real world. All that ends when you get out of school. So if you didn't know, you didn't hear my episodes talking about this, the things that you do in school that get rewarded, you get the exact opposite outcomes and exact opposite inputs in the real world. In case you didn't know, that's a different conversation though that we've already had here on the show, by the way, if you didn't know about it. These are all the results of baby steps. Moving too slow. This is a person who reaches out to me and asks me, do I have any material that can help them with their problem? They got problem A, B, C, Dre. You got anything that can help solve this problem? I tell them, as a matter of fact, I do. Offer them a link. Hey, here's a book that addresses that problem. Here's a course that addresses that issue. Or hey, come into my university and I can help you with that problem. They respond by telling me something that sounds like this. I appreciate it. I'll check it out. Any of you ever said that? You asked somebody for something and you said, oh, thank you. I'll check it out. Checking it out is a baby step. How many of you has ever created massive progress in your life by checking something out? I'm waiting for somebody to answer that question. Tell me that they did. How many of you ever created massive progress in your life via checking something out? Checking something out, looking into it, doing your research. All that is bullshit. None of that produces a result. All of that is just adding time to a situation. That's all it is. You're taking a situation, you're adding time to the process. That's a baby step. Now it's time for you to actually do something. All right, stop checking things out and actually do something. Make a decision. That's what I want you to do. I'd rather if somebody asks me, Dre, you got any books on showing up on days when you least feel like and giving your best effort? I say, yes, that's my book, The Third Day. The Decision Separates the Pros from Amateurs. I send them the link. I would prefer that this person reach back and say, you know what, Dre, I'm going to take a look at this page and I'm going to make a decision in 5 minutes whether or not to order the book. I would really appreciate that. That would be like a breath of fresh air. Even if they make a decision to not buy it, I'd be happy. Because at least I got a decisive person that I'm talking to. Many of you are just super indecisive and you use time as a crutch for your indecision. Let me check it out. Let me think about it. I got to add time to the situation. I got to delay this because, and then you give your reason for delay. That delay is killing you. It is literally killing you because every day you're getting closer to your death. So every time you add time to a situation, you are gambling with the fact that you might not make it to that time that you added to the situation. You add a week to the situation. Who says you got another week? You said you're going to do it next year. Who said you have another year? Even if you do have another year, this is one less year you'll have to enjoy the success if you achieve it next year. So let's say you got another 20 years to live, but you pushed your goal back by 2 years. Okay, so now instead of having 20 years to achieve the goal, if you would have did it today, now you're only going to have 18 years to not achieve, but 18 years to celebrate and appreciate and enjoy the fruits of your labor. And what the fruits of your labor mean is money that you're going to put into some type of investment that'll be for your kids and your grandkids. Well, two less years of investing is a lot less money with compound interest. Any of you know anything about that? If you don't, ask a financial advisor. They'll explain it to you. So every time you add time to a situation, you are costing yourself. Time is not free, everybody. Time is not free. There is a cost to adding time to a situation, and it's a big cost. You need to know what this cost is. And the more you know this cost, the more urgency it should give you to stop adding time to situations when you don't need to. And 85% of the time you're adding time to a situation you don't need to, by the way. There's a book called No BS Time Management for Entrepreneurs written by Dan Kennedy. If you have not read that book, I would suggest you go buy it and read it. Anytime you hear me mention a book on the show, go get it. Point number two. And also, by the way, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you still need to read that book. Number two, today's topic, once again, is baby steps are too small and too slow. Number two, isn't a baby step better than nothing? This is the pushback that I'm getting from some of you. I can feel it. I can feel it through through ESP right now, through the airwaves. I can feel the pushback that some of you are giving right now. That a baby step is better than nothing. That's the argument that you're formulating in your mind while you're listening to me tell you why your baby steps and you're slow moving and you're adding time to every situation is complete bullshit. You need to stop doing it. Your pushback is, well, Dre, I like your show and I listen to your stuff and I like most of what you say, but on this episode that you're talking about baby steps too small and slow, isn't slow progress better than no progress? Isn't something better than nothing? Let's address that. Slow motion is better than no motion. Is that true? Yes, it is. That's a fact. Slow motion is better than no motion. However, there's a difference between a fact and a truth. A fact can be handpicked out of a situation. The truth is the entire story. So we just agreed on a fact. Now let's talk about the truth. Slow motion does not lead to success. I just told you this the other day. There are two speeds, full speed or nothing. All right, slow motion is not success. Slow motion is slow motion. Slow motion is the tortoise in the story of the tortoise and the hare. And again, it's a fucking fairy tale. Tortoises do not beat rabbits in races. Okay, any of you ever been to a zoo? You see a tortoise? Now, tortoise is technically, I believe, bigger than the turtle, but there are tortoises. I went to the Miami Zoo a couple of years ago, and there was a tortoise there, and they are huge animals. They're really big. It's like the size of this table. Very big, but also extremely slow. These animals ain't beating no rabbit in a race, in a foot race. Like that, nobody would even show up to watch that race because it wouldn't be interesting. There's no suspense as who's going to win. Many of you are on this tortoise pace and you're saying, well, that's better than doing nothing. Yes, it's better than doing nothing. But you know who does nothing in life? Dead people. Only people in life doing nothing are dead people. People who are moving slow at the pace of the turtle, all right, those are the average people, average and worse. So you saying that slow motion is better than no motion is you rationalizing and validating your own mediocrity by saying, well, at least I'm doing something. Well, you're not really doing much. You're doing something compared to who? You're doing something compared to your dead great grandfather. All right, he's dead. He can't do anything. So who are you comparing yourself to? You see, this is why the law of association matters, folks. This is why you got to get around people who are playing the game at a higher level. Every rationalization of bullshit that you've been giving yourself in life, get around people who are playing the game at a higher level than you, who you see as playing the game as a higher level. Don't let anybody else prescribe these people to you. You decide. Who are the people playing the game at a higher level than me? I want you to get around those people, and I want you to get a list of all your rationalizations and validations that you've been giving yourself for the last 5 years. Write them down on a piece of paper. Sit down with those higher level people and just go down the list and just read each one out loud and explain why you believe it, and then let them tell you whether they agree with you or not. You will get a wake-up call in that conversation right there. Many of you need to have that conversation. I would pray that many of you have that conversation with somebody as quickly, as soon as possible. So you can take all the bullshit that you've been validating in your mind for the last 5 years and get a slap in the face and a cold dose of reality about what actually is true versus what's not. And again, let it come from somebody who you respect. Let it come from somebody who you believe is a high level person, and let them tell you how your bullshit is bullshit. Because you might not want to hear it from me. Maybe you're just listening to me for entertainment purpose. Maybe you think I'm just trying to be harsh. Maybe you think I'm just saying it. Maybe you think I'm making it personal against you, even though I don't even know you. All right, you hear it from somebody else. Because people who play the game at a high level, we agree on many of the same principles. We might have different ways of getting to it, but we agree on the same stuff. So you go find somebody. If it ain't me, go find somebody. Let them tell you. If you don't want to hear from me, hear from somebody else. You want to hear from me, go to Work on Your Game University. You want to hear from somebody else, go find them. And again, just write down all the things you've been rationalizing and go have a conversation with them. Let them tell you the same thing I'm telling you. They may say it in different words, but they're going to tell you the same thing. There are no two ways about this. The tortoise and the hare, the turtle against the rabbit is a fairy tale. Many of you are living out that fairy tale, foolishly convinced that if you do things slow and do them later, you'll eventually get there with the help of hope, praying, God, and wishing on success. I'm here to smack you in the face with the reality that is false, and no, you will not get to your success at this current pace. You need to start taking adult steps, not baby steps. And you start by taking steps, also known as walking. Then you need to start jogging. Then you need to start running. And you need to do all of it within the next 30 to 60 seconds, not 30 to 60 days. Only time is acceptable to move slow is when you have no idea what exactly to do next or where to go or how to do anything. That's the only time it would make any sense to move slow. Good news about that is that you won't be moving slow for long, because as soon as you recognize your own ignorance, ignorance simply means not to know. If you don't know what to do, that means you're ignorant because you don't know. Even then, all you got to do is, and this is what I would advise you, move fast even while you're messing up and failing. You don't know what to do? All right, do it anyway. Mess up, but mess up fast. Don't mess up slow. All right, you got to make a sales call, but you don't know what to say on the sales call. Make the call anyway. All right, so if you wait 30 minutes to make the call, you still don't know what to say. If you wait 3 days to make the call, you still won't know what to say. If you wait 30 seconds to make the call, you still won't know what to say. If you call right now, you still won't know what to say. So either way, you don't know what to say. So you might as well make the call now. And if you're going to blow the call now instead of blowing the call in a month. Who disagrees with me? Let me take this moment to offer you all a reminder that time is not on your side. Time is not your friend. You need to take adult leaps, not baby steps. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is baby steps are too small and too slow. Number 3, let me tell you how the most successful people operate. And again, you can take my word for this if you trust me to tell you, or you can trust but verify. Go verify this by going looking up some people who you consider to be successful. Take exactly what I'm about to tell you and ask them, hey, I heard this guy Dre say this. He said, this is how successful people operate. I consider you to be successful, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Johnson. What do you think about this? How do you feel about what he said? And here's what it is. The most successful people operate by doing things fast and now. Fast and now. Not later and not slowly. I told you about this on the episode on getting more life out of your life. If you didn't hear that episode, that is episode number 2648. You need to change your default settings from slow and later to fast and now. The most successful individuals, when they get an idea for something that needs to happen or to change, as long as they have the resources to do so, they do it now and they operate fast. Even when they don't have the resources, they start thinking about, right now, how can I quickly get these resources? What can I do right now to access these resources? I don't have them, but what can I do? What are some other ways around this issue besides just having the resources? So any of you whose issue is, I don't have the money, I don't have the time, you can't keep allowing that to be your excuse to do things slowly and later. Because you keep doing that, you're going to keep having the same problem. I tell you, I work as a business coach. I talk to many people who tell me they can't do something because they don't have the time. They say, all right, in 6 months, I think I'll have the time, Dre. 6 months later, time situation got worse. A year later, time situation is even worse than that. A year and a half after that, now we don't hear from them anymore because they don't want to keep telling me the same excuse. because they're embarrassed. You can swap out time with money. Same situation. Can't do anything right now because I don't have money. Reach out to them 6 months. Their money situation got worse. Even though their idea was, well, I'm going to clear up my money situation. 6 months, my money situation will be better. 6 months later, I've yet to meet a person whose money situation got better when they use that as the reason to do nothing right now. Not once. Every single person I've ever talked to who said, I need to clean up my money situation, give me some time. And then at that time, I reached back out to them. Their money situation did not get better. Not once. Never. Now, does that mean every person on the planet's money situation is getting worse? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that when whatever you use as a reason to move slowly and do things later will continue to be a reason to move slowly and do things later. It will only exacerbate. Issues only exacerbate themselves when you use them as crutches for a lack of initiative. Did everybody hear what I just said? It's not because you lack resources. It is because your mental paradigms have programmed you to be in this system of doing things slowly and later, and whatever crutch your your mindset can grab onto to justify slow and later, it will grab onto. So if that means it needs to use time as a reason, it will use time. If it needs to use money as a reason, it'll use money. If it needs to use, well, I got to talk to my husband or wife, it'll use that. If it got to use the kids, it'll use that. If it got to use, oh, my grandma got sick, it'll use that. It will always be something that is a reason for delay in doing things slowly if that's the way that you think. You will always have a really good reason to do things slow and later. That is a mindset. That is not has nothing to do with your resources or your condition. It is a mentality. This is a slap in the face to the truth that you do not have unlimited time. And that's the truth. You do not have unlimited time. But many of you operate as if your time is unlimited. It is not. It is a foolish pursuit. You need to catch yourself when you're doing this, falling into this habit, and address it immediately. Immediately means now. All that said, let's recap today's class, which is baby steps are too small and too slow. Number one, what exactly is a baby step? It's when you're slowly and gradually working your way to a change. And this is the person who takes 6 weeks to do a website, 3 months to create a course, 4 months to launch a podcast, write a book, and it takes 2 years to get it out. It's too slow. All right, baby steps are too slow. This is the reason why you can't walk 3 miles with a baby, because the baby is either going to get tired, it's going to get distracted, or it's going to just demand that it doesn't want to walk anymore. All right, you can't get anywhere with that. You need to take adult steps, not baby steps, not checking things out, but actually doing them. Number two, isn't the baby step better than nothing, Dre? Answer is yes. Slow motion is better than no motion. That's a fact. But there's a difference between a fact and a truth. And the truth is bigger than a fact. Slow motion does not lead to success. So even though it's better than no motion, doesn't mean it's going to make you successful. Only humans on the planet moving with no motion, the people in the cemetery, they're dead. That's no motion. Slow motion is the average people. That's you. And don't validate and try to justify slow motion. What you need is fast motion. Average people move at slow motion. Do you want to be like the average person? All right, that's what's got you the average right now, doing what the average people do. Do you want to do something better than average? You got to do what they're not doing. I just told you this every episode the last damn 30 days. Whatever you see average people doing, don't do it. However average people talk, don't talk like that. If you want to get a formula for success in life, look around at all the average people and the average habits that you have adopted from them and do the opposite of that. All right, that'll change a whole lot of things for you really quickly. Many of you are living out this fairy tale of a turtle can beat a rabbit in a race with the help of hoping, praying, depending on God and wishing on success. I'm giving you a cold dose of reality that is false, and no, it will not happen that way. You need to start doing things within the next 30 to 60 seconds, not the next 30 to 60 days. Only time it's acceptable to move slow is when you don't know what to do. And even then, if you don't know what to do it anyway, because you still won't know what to do no matter how long you take to start doing something. Number three, most successful people operate by the ideas of fast and now, not later and not slow. Many of you do things way too slow, and you're always delaying. You are always adding time to a situation as if you have time to give away. You do not have time to just give away. Many of you are time bankrupt because you have given away more time than you actually have to give away. You're like the United States government. You're in debt. You're in $1 trillion of debt, but yours is related to time, and time is more valuable than money. You are giving away time that you don't have, and you just keep running the bill up as if nothing's ever going to happen, as if that bill's never going to come due. All right, that is a dire situation. All that said, text me and let me know. You want to get my daily motivation that I send out for free every single day. My number is 305-384-6894, and work on your game university. If you like what you heard here today, I sound like the type of person who could help you, who could coach you. I sound like the type of person you would want to hear from on a regular basis. I sound like the type of person who would help diagnose your issues and call you out on your bullshit and get you out of it when it's time for you to actually do something. Then go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and let's get to work. Work on your game. Dre, all